If I have to hear this fake Southern accent again, oh my girl! Freeway, released in 1996 and is directed by Matthew Bratt, who's also directed such films like Ted Bundy, Tiptoes, and Freeway 2 Confessions of a Trick Baby. Didn't know. I was just reading his filmography. I didn't know that was actually a thing. Oh my god, they made a sequel to this! And this film is starring Reese Witherspoon and Kiefer Sutherland. And the reason why we're talking about Freeway today is because it was a PayPal recommendation from one of my subscribers and contributors on this channel, James Philbrey. Thank you very much for the recommendation. You always send in great recommendations for me, and typically free ones on Tubi TV, so I definitely appreciate and thank you for that. This one... oh boy, let's talk about this one. Vanessa is an illiterate teenager who has a deadbeat rapist for a stepfather and a whore for a mother. Oh god, that's the plot. That is the plot. And on this day, when both of her parents get arrested, she evades child services to go live with her grandmother. But to get there, she needs to drive on the freeway. And there have been recent reports about a freeway killer that is driving up and down the freeway, finding a bunch of young little ladies who are pretty promiscuous, and he's killing them. But Vanessa is able to defend herself and shoots him and kills him and beats him up and takes his money and takes his car. But the first thing you always need to check when you shoot someone in the face, you better make sure they're dead, because it turns out he's not. And then she gets arrested, and then she's sent to prison, and then it's a whole cat and mouse thing where, oh, he wants her to rot in jail, and she's trying to break out, and the cops on the case are like, "This doesn't feel right, Lieutenant. I don't trust this guy. There has to be more here. I think this guy's the freeway killer, and she is innocent." And that's kind of half right. I mean, yes, she is innocent, but she also was holding the gun at point blank range for a long time, and then she made the choice. He wasn't advancing on her at all. She made the choice to shoot him in the face and then rob him, and didn't see anything wrong with that. So I'm sorry, he's terrible because he's a rapist, he's a serial murderer, but she's also terrible as well, because there is no remorse on her behalf. And this film is trying to get you 100% behind Vanessa, because she was done in the wrong, and she was abducted by this guy, and she was almost assaulted, which is terrible. But you see her go through the motions of defending herself, and then see how she carries herself during the trial and in prison, and I go, she's not that much better. This movie is about a couple of shitty people who should be off the street and behind bars. I'm sorry. And my god, if I have to hear Reese Witherspoon give us that fake Southern Texas accent anymore, I'm going to... she doesn't even need to pull the trigger. I will take the gun from her, and I will shoot myself in my face. Or at least shoot myself in the ear. That way I couldn't hear her talk anymore. I don't know why we needed to have the choice that she is from Texas here over in California. She could have just been a Californian, and we wouldn't have had to listen to a terrible Southern fake Texas accent the entire film. It is a pretty interesting modern take on the grim fairy tale The Little Red Riding Hood. The opening credits, you see illustrations and animations of Little Red Riding Hood, the big bad wolf going over to Grandma's house and eating the grandmother and then putting on her clothes and then surprising Little Red Riding Hood when she comes in. I thought that was just an opening credits thing, but as the film's going along, I see that she's dressed in red. I mean, it's leather and it's latex red, but it's red. And she's hopping in a car to get to grandmother's house. It's just she doesn't go through the woods. She's going on the freeway, which is another type of woods, I guess, in this country. And if you weren't getting the metaphor that this is a modern day take on Little Red Riding Hood, well, when she leaves her house to go to her grandmother's house, she actually has a basket that she puts all of her belongings in. Not a backpack, not a suitcase, not a bag, a frickin' basket. Who has a frickin' basket? I laughed when I saw that. I was like, oh, that's really on the nose, and I like that. Thank you. The rest of this movie, though, is frickin' painful. And I can sense that Matthew Bratt, who directed and wrote this thing, was really trying to get the audience to get behind Vanessa. She's done wrong. She is defending herself. She's a strong, independent woman. We all need to stand behind her, and I'm just not doing it. Yes, I want her to take out the big bad wolf in Kiefer Sutherland because he's a rapist, he's a serial killer, he's a terrible person, he should be locked away, and the key should be thrown away. But the lack of remorse, or just seeing like no difficult decision being made at all. I'm just gonna shoot you in the face after I hold you hostage for a little bit. Making fun of him as he comes into the court when it's her trial and the judge is there. Or seeing her in prison and how she takes out all these other people. She's not a good person either. But the film ends and we're supposed to be like, oh yeah, she's proven innocent, so now she's back on the streets. Haha, society's great. No, it's not. They both need to be behind bars. Please make that happen. Freeway was annoying. It was one of those movies that I'm just watching it with my hand on my face, rubbing my temples, because I'm so annoyed. Hearing that stupid frickin' accent is driving me frickin' crazy, and I wanted the movie to be done. It's definitely not the worst film I've ever seen. I can definitely see how someone could find this entertaining. Just from a story aspect, I couldn't get behind any of these characters, and if I'm not connecting to the story or to a character, I'm just lost, and I'm kind of just sitting there watching a movie. I'm gonna give Freeway 1.5 out of 5 Blu-rays.
No, sir, I didn't like it.
Alright, everyone, now, because my favorite part of my video is where I pick which movie I'm going to be watching next. And the next one comes as another PayPal recommendation and donation that I've gotten from one of my longtime subscribers, someone that I always love when I get recommendations from her, the former Autumn Blood, now named the stars. You recommended the film The Wrong Man, I should say. I always go to the Wrong Man. I don't know, it sounds better to me, as if he's like a superhero. I'm Wrongman! But this is Alfred Hitchcock, right? This is Henry Fonda. I've never seen this movie before, and we'll check it out next time. So guys, if you've seen Freeway, what did you think about it? Or if you've never seen it before and you stumbled across it because of this video, then comment below, let me know what you thought about it. And as always, if you like what you see here, if you like my take on movies, then hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit that bell. See you the next time I'm released next movie review. So guys, I will see you next time on the channel, but in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.